Well, last week we said hello to our old friend the ice scraper again, but you know, the first frost of the season doesn't just delay our departure to the office, it can also mark the end to the growing season for a lot of farmers and gardeners. Or does it? When you get down to the nitty-gritty science, frost is actually a plant's final defense against those chilly autumn evenings. I'll show you why in this week's Heather's Weather Wise. Frost can actually start forming when temperatures are well above freezing. Wait, what? Yep, and stay with me on this one. The official temperature that we give you here on Channel 2 is always reported at a height of about 5 feet. For reference, I'm about 5'4". But on a clear, cold autumn night, the coldest of that air isn't at 5 feet, it's often all the way down at the ground. So it can easily be 36 degrees at the airport, the temperature that we tell you, while it's 31 or 32 degrees right at ground level. And now we bring in the frost. It forms when invisible water vapor close to the Earth's surface goes through a snap transition to solid ice. We call it sublimation. We see that result of sublimation as tiny ice particles that glitter in the cold morning sunlight. Ah, nice to look at, isn't it? Now here's where the magic happens. When that sublimation occurs and the water vapor goes immediately to frost on the plant, it releases a tiny bit of heat. We call it latent heat, and it's not something that we can feel, but it sure is something that the plant notices, because that latent heat almost acts to insulate the plant by just a couple of degrees, helping to prevent the frost from killing the plant. Experienced farmers have known about this latent heat trick for ages. On nights when a frost is expected, they'll spray their crops with water. That water freezes and gives off just a little extra puff of latent heat, almost like a microscopic winter blanket. Technically, we're still waiting on our first hard freeze at the Buffalo airport. It's been as cold as 33 degrees though, cold enough for our first frost. Actually, we've been waiting longer as the years go by. This graphic from Climate Central shows that since the year 1970, our average first frost has been getting later by nearly a week. Well, thanks for joining me for another edition of Heather's Weather Wise. Remember, if you miss any episode, just head to the WGRZ YouTube page. I've got all the episodes posted there in the Heather's Weather Wise playlist. And keep sending me your weather questions. I'll get to them with each passing week. I'll see you next week for a new episode and a new topic. But until then, remember, it's good to be a geek.